What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having an amazing day. As always, you can follow me on Instagram at DreamRare. That's at DreamRare. You can follow me on Twitter at Legendary Energy. You could wait about 15 more seconds or so for people to get into the live stream. I'm going to wait to break this information. In the meantime, all my links are on legendary.vision. I have a new podcast out, shirts at dreamrare.com. But what's important is what I'm about to say. Give me about 5 more seconds for people to get into the live stream. It's my favorite subject to talk about because this whole Russia-Trump collusion narrative is probably the biggest propaganda distraction of the modern era as far as politics. And it's not even a partisan issue. It's literally the biggest witch hunt, the most bizarre bananas flip of the mainstream media, hiding all the real Russia collusion evidence and using people's hate for Donald Trump. I always say, you can't be emotional. If you hate somebody, you can't believe anything, you can't believe everything someone says, like, oh, you hate him, so you'll believe anything. And that's what this Russia stuff has come to, because all of the facts, all of the evidence, even in mainstream publications such as Washington Post and Reuters, which I'm going to talk about, they tell you the truth, but they tell you the truth after they scream the lie for months and months and months, and they have conspiracy theorists such as Rachel Maddow connecting all these dots that don't exist. So, if you remember, the big story a few months ago that was screamed for weeks was that Donald Trump Jr. met with a Russian lawyer and that it was some sort of collusion, and they found out in the meeting nothing happened. He left after 30 minutes and there was no sort of collusion there. Well, it comes out today in Reuters that the Russian lawyer, it's hard to pronounce her name, I'm going to make an attempt at it, Veselnitskaya, Russian lawyer, she met with the founder of Fusion GPS before and after the Trump Jr. meeting. And why is this important? Fusion GPS is a Washington firm that Hillary Clinton and the DNC hired, which was the same firm that produced the fake dossier, another huge story, the big Trump peed on people in Russia or something. It's this huge, the dossier. You heard it on MSNBC. We got the dossier, we got the memo, we got the dossier and the memo and the dossier and the memo. You don't hear about them anymore because neither of them had any sort of weight when it comes to truth, reality, and real justice. The fake dossier, which people thought was a bombshell, ended up being a fake little memo that was funded by Hillary Clinton's campaign and the Democratic National Committee. So they funded this fake thing. It was all over BuzzFeed, all over CNN. Then it was taken off, and you don't hear about it anymore because it was fake. Then you heard that Donald Trump Jr. met with a Russian lawyer, and that was the big scoop. Well, now we find out the same company that Hillary Clinton and DNC paid to make the fake dossier met with that lawyer before the meeting and after the meeting. Yet even now in the mainstream publications, they're trying to say, oh, it's unrelated. So Hillary Clinton and the DNC are paying millions of dollars to Fusion GPS. They're making all these fake documents, trying to, manipulate a collusion that doesn't exist. They got caught literally lying. They just got caught that they were funding Fusion GPS because originally they were like, oh, well, maybe that's just an independent group. And last week it's like, no, Hillary Clinton and the DNC were actually funding them. And then we found out Hillary Clinton actually bought out the DNC and they were in debt. And Hillary Clinton had the DNC on the allowance. So in the last 2 weeks we found out Hillary Clinton basically bought the DNC and had them on an allowance to pay off their debt. We found Hillary Clinton and the DNC, who's in debt, who Hillary Clinton's paying off the debt, are paying for a fake dossier. And that same company that produced the fake dossier met with the lawyer that tried to set Donald Trump Jr. up for the big scoop before and after the meeting. This is like a bad movie that a lot of people can't wake up because their hate for Donald Trump is so strong that they'll believe anything. All of the evidence of the rigging of the election goes against Hillary Clinton. It's now a known fact that she bought the DNC. She literally, imagine if Donald Trump bought the RNC, the Republican National Committee. Imagine if he spent millions of dollars and just basically was funding them because they were in debt. Imagine this. Imagine the outrage. Imagine the big scoop. Oh my God, Donald Trump rigged the election. He bought the RNC. But nobody cares because that's how dumb people are nowadays. because they hate Donald Trump so much they're willing to believe anything. It's ridiculous, the amount of corruption. And then we found out Hillary Clinton not only rigged the Democratic side and cheated Bernie Sanders and basically bought out the entire election, to which now Donna Brazil is saying, oh no, it didn't influence the election at all. She just funded the DNC millions of dollars, and I'm sure that had no influence on anything, and she's paying Fusion GPS to make fake documents, and then they're meeting with Russian lawyers and trying to set Trump Jr. up. It's bananas. And so not only did she potentially rig the Democratic side, you see how dishonest and ridiculous the media is, but she also used her Pied Piper strategy to elevate Donald Trump, thinking he was an easy candidate to beat. So Hillary Clinton and her campaign, and the DNC and the media, they rigged the entire election. All of the evidence that we have of handing over debate questions and 2 million people in New York purged, from voter rolls, none of this goes in the favor of Donald Trump, or in the favor of Donald Trump did it. It all goes in the favor of Hillary Clinton did it. So she rigged the election. She's paying groups to make fake Russian documents. She's paying groups to basically set up meetings to set Donald Trump up. So then the news can be like, oh, well, they met with a Russian lawyer that was, potentially being facilitated by Fusion GPS. It's the most backwards, insane story in the world. And I talked to a friend yesterday who's not a big Trump fan. I told him, man, I don't care if you like Trump, but the only reason they're able to get away with this is because people hate Trump so much they're willing to believe, oh, well, Manafort got indicted for something he did 6 years ago, and that's the big scoop. No, that's not the big scoop. Hillary Clinton rigged the election. All of the Russian Facebook ads were anti-Trump ads and pro-social activist ads. This is CNN, this is Reuters, this is Washington Post. It's not a conspiracy. They just scream the lie. They've screamed the lie. Trump hacked, blah, blah, blah. Let's investigate Breitbart. Let's investigate InfoWars. They're not American. They're Russian. Everybody who doesn't agree with me is Russian. Jimmy Dore, the Young Turks who think Russia didn't do it are Russian. Glenn Greenwald's Russian. Anomaly's Russian. H.A. Goodman's Russian. And then they'll tell the truth like 3 months later, be like, oh, yeah, actually Hillary Clinton rigged the whole election. Actually, they set up the whole meeting, and they were paying millions of dollars. They bought out the DNC, and they funded the fake dossier that never existed in the first place. But what about Manafort, and what about Flynn? And then people, oh, yeah, let's get Trump. We got to get Trump. It's so ridiculous. Even if this information didn't come out that I just shared, that Reuters is admitting that the Fusion GPS founder who funded the fake dossier, who was being funded by Hillary Clinton, met with the Russian lawyer that was the big scoop on Donald Trump Jr. before and after. I'm gonna have to make a nice comprehensive compilation video of all the ridiculous debunked Russian narratives, everything that they've accused Donald Trump of. I didn't even like Donald Trump a year ago. To be honest, I didn't vote for the guy. I thought his campaign rhetoric was a turnoff to me. I didn't really connect with it, if I'm going to be 100% real, as I always am. But the ridiculousness of the media, the ridiculousness of the corruption, everything that they blame Donald Trump of doing, they actually do. They said that Trump rigged the election with Russia. Hillary Clinton rigged the election. They said that Trump colluded with Russia. Hillary Clinton colluded with Russia. She has $130 million plus going to her foundation for a quid pro quo deal. All of a sudden people sign off and 20% of the United States uranium goes to Russia. If Russia's this big bad country that no one even thought about 2 years ago, then why did they sign off on 20% of the United States uranium going to Russia? And why did hundreds of millions of dollars flow to the Clinton Foundation? And why did Bill Clinton go to Moscow and do $500,000 speeches for a 30-minute speech? Imagine if Donald Trump went to Russia and did a 30-minute speech and got $500,000. Imagine the outrage. No one cares because they use the Trump scapegoat to hide the corruption of the last 50, 67 years. If you want to talk about racism, if you want to talk about the prison system, if you want to talk about inequality and, the pyramid scheme that is the United States government, do you really think it just started 8 months ago and all of a sudden, oh man, it all started and ends with Trump? Let's get rid of Trump and Mike Pence will really turn things around. Who believes that stuff? It's not even comprehensible that they have convinced people that this Russia-Trump collusion is real. Every time It's actually mind-blowing. Even for me, who was a heavy Trump critic, it's mind-blowing to me how corrupt they are. It's mind-blowing to me how dishonest they are. Every single thing they've accused Trump of doing has backfired in their face. The news called Trump fake news. Now when people think of fake news, they think of CNN because it is literally fake news. It's a psyops organization to basically spread misinformation, hate, negativity, and anti-Trump information. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about, honesty. It's every news source besides Fox News is literally like a psyops anti-Trump organization where they don't even care about what's really going on. Well, he didn't feed the goldfish properly, and that's the big scoop. No, it's not the big scoop. The big scoop is that Hillary Clinton sold 20% of the United States uranium with the help of, the State Department and the people who signed off in the Obama administration. And Robert Mueller, who's now the head of the Russia Council, was the FBI director who reportedly, handed the test uranium on an airport or a tarmac to the Russians. He literally handed them uranium. Even Snopes won't even lie about that. They're like, it's a mixture. It's not true. It's not false. Like it happened, but it doesn't mean that they sold the uranium. Like they were just testing it, and then the U.S. sold the uranium. 20% of the United States uranium is in the hands of Russia, and Trump didn't sell it. Imagine if Trump's doing these deals and all the money's going to the Trump Foundation. It's the opposite. You have reporters for the New York Times admitting on hidden cameras that they're purposely sabotaging Trump's businesses to destroy his presidency. You see on the Forbes list, Trump went down multiple spots on the richest person in the world because he's being sabotaged politically, mentally, socially, in every sort of way. They're sabotaging Trump. And in no way does it have anything to do with justice. Has nothing to do with foreign countries colluding with the U.S. Hillary Clinton's campaign was funded by Saudi Arabia. Literally, it's an Intercept article. Search Hillary Clinton campaign Saudi Arabia. You can find mainstream news articles saying that her whole campaign was funded by foreign countries. She's worked with foreign countries. She's made hundreds of millions of dollars from foreign countries. She's collaborated with foreign countries to put together the fake Trump-Russia stuff. All of the stuff that keeps coming out is showing that Hillary Clinton is rigging all sides of everything. She's ruining everything. Is this what people on the left want? Hillary Clinton ruining everything? She ruined the DNC. She ruined progressivism. She ruined feminism. She ruined basically any sort of foreign relations that we had with Russia. She's ruining the media. And after the months of outrage, the Trump Russian lawyer, there's all these Russians on Facebook. Every story backfires in their face. And I will make a comprehensive for the people saying, oh, well, I tag my friends and Anomaly just makes up stuff, even though if you Google or DuckDuckGo or ecosia.org, any of the stuff I'm saying, you can find mainstream articles. It's not fringe articles. It's like Washington Post. They scream the lie 10,000 times. They put out 60 articles, and then they'll whisper the lie behind a fake headline. They'll say, Trump, Clinton, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll be like, yeah, she kind of funded everything, and we kind of lied for a month, but F it. Why not? People, who cares? Democracy dies in darkness, right, guys? Even though we're owned by Jeff Bezos, who, never mind. It's bananas. I'll make a comprehensive video that shows every single Russia lie, debunk, because there's over, I would say 10 or 15 now. The Trump-Russia lawyer, Hillary Clinton set it up. The dossier, Hillary Clinton paid for it. She collaborated literally with Russia. Their uranium, it's a real story that they've been trying to hide for a year. Russia hacked the electric grid. Oh my God, they're hacking the power. Turns out Washington Post just completely fabricated a whole fake story that now, if you Google, you can find out, oh, well, they just lied about the whole thing and just still didn't really remove it. It's still up there. Everything. Oh, Russia influenced Facebook. Russia's running all these Trump ads. And you look at the CNN article and they're like, yeah, like Russia influenced, but they're actually not pro-Trump ads. They're mostly Blacktivist ads. They're a black activist page that had more followers than Black Lives Matter, and we're posting about Muslim women and social justice rights, which is fine. I'm not hating on that, but I'm just saying there's a big difference between Russia hacked the election for Trump and Russia's spending, tens of thousands of dollars to promote social justice, which is exactly what Huffington Post does and New York Times does and Washington Post does and, The Root does and all of these other websites. So how is that helping Trump when that's exactly what the people who hate Trump constantly do? And then they're saying, oh, well, don't ignore the fact that there's an anti-Trump anti-Trump rally that Russia funded that Michael Moore attended to, but there's a big, Trump Jesus ad, and then you look in the fine print, it's like, Russia only spent $1 on this ad, and they targeted Bill O'Reilly fans. Whoa, a $1 ad that targeted Bill O'Reilly fans with the Jesus Trump ad. Whoa, I'm sure that really had a huge effect on the election. It's ridiculous. And I've already proven that in one day of me posting, I reach more people than the Russians reached in 3 years. So none of that strategically makes any sort of sense. They're just desperate, like I said in my last video, to find an excuse for why celebrity culture is dying out, because they're not as cool as everyone thought they were. And now there's YouTube stars and Facebook stars and Instagram stars and normal people and reality shows. So the celebrities are all mad and the media's mad because they don't control the flow of information. They can't lie about Syria. They can't lie about Russia. They can't lie about the United States. They can't lie about politics anymore because you have the progressive left, shifting into a more honest direction, and you have the conservative right shifting into a more honest direction because of the internet, and thanks to politicians like Bernie Sanders and Trump, who knocked down some barriers inadvertently or purposely. So this whole Russia, all of this news, mainstream news, is a whole psyops to stop the left and the right from making any real progress, from getting down to the core of it, and to finding the root of the real corruption, which of course didn't start 8 months ago. It started 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago, if not further, when the media was owned by 5 or 6 corporations and people like me didn't exist, and there's no way you can get a real information. There was no Twitter to break news. There was no Facebook for an actual conversation. They dominated all of it, and that's why they're freaking out. It's not because Russia hacked the election. Every Russia story has backfired even further than I would think. I'm actually impressed. I would think that a billionaire in his 70s that has properties all over the world would have more Russia connections. Honestly, even if they were like, oh my God, Trump met with a Russian. Really, I would hope that, politicians and businessmen have connections all over the world, like demonize me. Oh my God, Anomaly knows people in Syria. Whoa, Anomaly knows people in China. Oh my God, that's so bad. Don't you want people to have relationships? I don't want $10 to $15 million being funded to a political campaign, like Hillary was getting funded from Saudi Arabia. That's crossing the line. But talking to a Russian lawyer, whoa, they talked to a lawyer from Russia. Meanwhile, that lawyer met with Fusion GPS's founder before and after the meeting. You can't script this stuff up. This is why people are tuning in so much. Forget about Netflix. This is the best reality show in the world. Is reality. Literal reality, not fake reality shows where it's fake scripts. They're in the club and they turn the camera off and the whole thing was written anyway. It's not even a real show. Real reality. This is the best show in the world. The Russia propaganda collapse, the fake news collapse of the media, and the ridiculous collapse of the Republican and the Democratic Party is the funniest, most entertaining story in the world right now. Thank you so much for listening. Check out some of the links if you want to search some of the stuff I was talking about. Please feel free. I would love for you to find that information otherwise coming from my mouth. I would love for you to question what I'm saying. And stay tuned. I'm going to make a full comprehensive video eventually of all of the ridiculous lies. It's going to take a long time because there's over 10 or 15 now complete story collapses. But if you hate someone so much, then why does it matter? People will eat arsenic if they tell them that Trump told them not to. That's how bad it's gotten at this point. Thank you so much. I'm going to put my link below if you would like to donate. I appreciate it. I'm 100% funded by the people. I only do business deals if it makes sense, if I believe in the business and the company and they're doing something good for the world. I won't collaborate with bad people. I won't be sold out. I've held out for this long. It's going to be a lifestyle. So thank you to so much of people that support. It makes me able to take the time and dedicate my life now to trying to help people uplift inspiration, education, philosophy, spirituality, and most importantly, reality. Because when we get twisted like this, bad things will happen in politics. So thank you guys so much.